I got to remove that one because apparently I wasn't allowed to stream to that group anyways. So we just will omit that group from
Yeah.
our existence. Good afternoon, morning, everybody. Johnny Moe here with Harrison, and we are talking about our weekly mashup that we talk about marketing and operations because I love marketing and Harrison loves operations, and that's the way that goes. And we're going to talk about the things that are working from an operational standpoint. We're going to talk about the things that are working from a marketing standpoint, a video standpoint, those types of things, and some of the things that I'm doing and some of the things that he's doing and what we're seeing other agents and our partners from around the country doing. So welcome to the show. Harrison, welcome. How are you this fine day?
I'm great. Thank you, Johnny Moe. How you doing?
I can't complain. I woke up again.
Down there on the beach, enjoying the view.
Listen, third day in a row that I'm out there walking, determined, and when I'm walking with fierce determination because you know what? And I'm listening to podcasts. I'm working on myself. Yesterday, I listened to Mel Robbins. The day before that, I listened to The Secret Book. Today, I listened to Bob Proctor himself talk about.
Nice.
It was Bob Proctor. You know what I mean? So I'm doing the work,
Yep.
and the stuff that I'm feeding myself is all positive because if you don't, your subconscious runs your world. And if you're not feeding it good, positive information, if you're not sitting there and visualizing what it is that you want, it will never come. It will never come.
Yep.
It will never come. You have to continually work on yourself. You have to continually do the work. Even if you're doing lead generation, you have to continually do the work. There's no, oh, I'm going to lead generate once a week and I'm going to be this magical, awesome, multi-producing real estate agent. You have to do the work when nobody's looking, right?
Mm-hmm.
People are like, oh, showing up's half the battle. No, showing up's just a requirement. It's not half the battle. You don't get an award for showing up. You don't get an award for showing up.
If you had a job and didn't show up, they would fire you and you just go home. Like but we give ourselves all this leeway. It's what we do. We want all the freedom of being our own boss and running our own business. And then we wake up at noon and shut down at 4:00 and can't figure out why we're not getting anywhere.
100%. And that's the thing. I think too many times we're looking for that little pat on the back, that little attaboy, and all these other accolades for doing the absolute minimum that we do, or for doing what's required for us to do anyways. There's no accolades. And if you're looking for external gratification, if you're looking for external validation, you've already lost a war. You've already lost a war, because all of that validation, all of that gratification should come internally, right? Okay. I woke up today. I've already won the day. I've already won the day. We have on the Mel Robbins podcast I was listening to, she was talking about vision boarding and she laughed about it and she goes, oh, isn't that cute? And so he's put a lot of time and energy on what that goal is. And Bob Proctor would call it an A goal, right? Like, I want to get a new car. Well, have you ever owned a new car? Yeah, I bought like 3 or 4 of them. So, okay, so it's not really a goal.
Yeah.
You're already done it, right? It's just something that you're going to do anyway. It's not really a goal. But Mel Robbins used the analogy of a $10 million beach house. People put this picture of a $10 million beach house. Most of the time, they get frustrated that they're not getting it because what they don't do and what they should be doing is putting down what the process and the steps are to get there.
Right.
Because it's going to take, she said, 10 years to get.
Yeah,
she said, as successful as she is, she doesn't have a $10 million beach house, right?
Yep.
But you got to, what is the process to get in there? What is the sacrifices you're going to make? What are the investments and the savings and the sacrifices and the disciplines you're going to get? And motivation doesn't mean shit. Motivation doesn't mean a damn thing.
Nope.
Execution, discipline, showing up, doing the work over and over and over and over again is the only thing that matters.
That's it. I I had to laugh. There was a one of those Facebook groups last night. Somebody put a comment out about, what do you think about coaching? What is the cost and what'd you get out of it? And all kinds of people going, I'll never pay for coaching and $0, save your money. And I'm like, well, let's think about this for a second. So my response back was, the reason this industry fails at 87% is everybody thinks of what's the cost, not what it gets for you. A coach in the end shouldn't cost you anything. The right coach is going to generate far more for you than they cost. So forget about the cost. Think about what you can get for it. I would happily pay a coach $1 million a year if they're going to show me and help me make 2 million. I would do that because that is ROI positive for me. But that's where this industry gets lost. They see everything as a cost. They don't go to events. They don't go to masterminds. They don't join groups. They don't invest in coaching. They don't invest in training. They don't invest in, whatever. It's literally just, I need leads. I'm just going to throw money at all these different lead sources. I'm not going to get better as a business owner or better as an agent. I'm just going to bury myself in more stuff. So I just stay busy. And that's where this industry gets lost. If you're not investing in yourself, like you mentioned, your fierce determination in podcasts and books, like if you're not investing in yourself, the only asset you have in this whole world is you. You're only worth what you're worth, what you've made yourself to be worth. If you're not investing in you, the hell are you doing? Like what's your end game here? If you're not improving yourself every day, somehow, little by little, where are you trying to get to? Because you're not going to get there.
If you're not willing to invest in yourself, don't expect anybody else to. That is my answer to that, right? Yep. Why would I, as a homeowner, why would I, as a buyer, want to invest, trust you if you're not trying to be the best or putting out the best perception on social media or with conversations, or at least showing up, right? Showing up. People say showing up's half the battle. I said that a minute ago. No, it's a requirement.
Right.
And how you show up to that client, they're going to be able to tell. Mm-hmm. I was walking through, and you know what? You shouldn't need somebody to motivate you, but people do, right? Because we like we're inculcated with blame, shame, and guilt. We like to find somebody else to blame for our inadequacies, but you should be, I think, self-motivated to better yourself. I was walking out of the studio yesterday. And for those that don't know, we have a studio. It's in the back of an insurance office. And I was walking out, and there was a table there, and there were a couple of books there. One of the books was The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. I think everybody knows this book, or everybody's probably either read this book or know about this book or know Darren Hardy of some sort. So I said, hey, whose book is this? And somebody said, I think it's Jeff's. I said, would it be okay if I borrow it, do you think? They said, yeah, absolutely. I said, cool. I'll bring in some books as a replacement to share as well. Because I've been wanting to read this. I've heard it on audio, but I've never read it. And I think reading brings something different. So nobody said to me, John, grab that book. Nobody said, hey, Mo, you should read this. I picked it up. Yep. Okay. You all know, everybody knows what to do. Everybody. Yep. And for a matter of fact, if you don't know what to do, get Red-X, get the Geo leads, get probate leads, and sit here for 2 hours a day like I do and make phone calls. And when you talk to somebody and lead with empathy and curiosity and be conversational, see how you can help solve problems. And then you send out a handwritten postcard to say, thank you for taking the time to speak with me. Here's my card. And an extra one. See, these are magnets. One for the fridge, one for a friend. Okay? Call me if I can help you with any contractor referrals, marketing of the home, leasing, whatever you might need, or investors. Nobody tells me to do that. I know that in order for me to get to that promised land of 10 million in sales a year, I have to sit down and do the work. Mm-hmm. And it's no different than walking by this book saying, in my free time, I will read this. I will read this for a half hour every morning. It's no different than ordering this off of the TikTok shop, the Shadow Work Journal. So I can sit there and continue my journey inward and learn about me and why I do what I do, or tick or whatever. So I can continue to be the best version of myself for me, for my family, for my clients. Not only just the real estate clients, but also the clients of Explore My Town and Evolution Media.
Yep.
Okay. People like to say, oh, you're lucky. I'm not lucky at all. I consider myself severely unlucky. You know what the difference between me and other people are? I just don't quit. Mm-hmm. That's it. I just don't quit. We're getting ready to launch another program, which I think is going to simplify online communications, right? You're lucky? No, work until midnight isn't anything, has nothing to do with luck.
Well, so
Doesn't have anything to do with luck.
you get luckier the harder you work, and that's always been the way this business has worked. And you and I were talking before we went on. This business is a numbers game. It's all about how many conversations you can start. And I'm seeing a lot of people, and I've got people reaching out to me saying, I've got nothing in the pipeline. I've got no closings. What should I do? And the answer is, do what we do. Go find a way to start conversations. Go out and make videos. Go out and network. Go out and run into people. Make phone calls. Like, find something that works for you, but just go out and talk to people. We all want the magic bullet, the pill that's going to just drop all this business in our lap. It doesn't exist. Even if you buy Zillow leads, what do? You still have to call them. You still have to chase them around. Like, that's how this business works. So rather than chasing cold leads you're paying too much for, just go out in the community and talk to people. Create videos, ask people questions, share interesting information, share stories, educate the consumer. Get on the phone and just call people and just see how they're doing, and be a resource, be a valuable resource to the people around you. But from there, back to the point about personal development, you have to have the confidence to actually feel like you can add value and you can bring somebody value. If you're not investing in yourself and you don't know how to talk to people and you don't know what value you can bring, you got to back up and start right there. If you're in this business because you just want to close deals and make money, you've already lost. If you're in this business because you want to be a resource to people, help people, be there for people and help them through these big life decisions and challenges, you'll be okay. But if you're just trying to close deals and make money, you've already lost and you won't make it in this business. And a lot of the agents that spent the last 2 years just trying to close deals and make money are the ones right now that have no business, because they never learned how to be of value. They just learned how to open doors and write contracts.
Yeah. Bring value at charge less.
Yeah. And that's the other piece. I mean, if you want to, if your idea of bringing value is to open doors and write contracts, you won't be able to charge the same amount going forward.
No. And that is what we're going to see the W-2 employee become, because, AI is writing contracts. It is writing contracts, and it's going to continue to write contracts. And you have to look at where we're going, not today, not next week, but 3 years from now, 5 years from now. You must think in a futuristic way. The largest buying segment out there is just reaching home buying age. That's Gen Z.
Yep.
And Gen Z is going to buy their home on this device, whether you like it or not, whether you want to admit it or not. If you've never built a software, and you don't argue with me, because the people that I talk to have developed some of the biggest softwares. Okay. They are working on AI. They are putting these things in place. They sat at the table for Black Knight and ICE and the whole FTC holding up the transfer, of which 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago at this point, the FTC lifted and gave them the green light. Okay. So if you're not one of them, you don't have any credibility to argue with me, right? You just don't, because really smart people who have been pivotal in our industry, who are working on these things, who are futurists, see it because they're working on it. Gen Z will buy their home on this device, period.
Yeah. And if nothing else, Gen Z will research everything about buying a home on that device. And if, even if they use an agent, they're going to be so well researched before they call you. But if you don't show up in their search, they're never going to call you. This is not the generation that's going to opt into a Zillow lead form. They're smarter than that. They're more tech savvy than that. They're going to find what they want without giving their information away. And then when the time comes, they're going to call a person they see that, speaks to them, that actually has appeared in their searches, that shows up over and over again. And if you're not there, you won't get that call. And I tell people all the time, in this business, everything we do is replaceable. Scheduling showings, going on showings, writing up contracts, negotiating deals, that can all be done by anybody. The only piece of us that can't be replaced is the relationships that we have. And if you don't have the relationships, if you don't have the database, if you're not nurturing that group of people, because that's when people buy brokerages, they're not buying the brokerage, they're buying the database. Like, that's the only thing of value in this whole business. The only thing in the world you own in a real estate business that has any damn value to it is that database. Those relationships are the only thing that set you apart from Joe average on the street that's not in real estate. You have that network. So now is the time to be building that network, nurturing that network, feeding that network, being a resource to that network. And that's why our clients with Explore My Town are doing so well in this market, because they have the videos that have helped them build the network and people are coming to them. I took 2 listings last week out of my network off of a video. They came to me because I continued to show up. And they said, "Well, you know a lot about land. Like, can you help me with these?" Absolutely, I can.
Hmm.
But like, it's about how well are you building that network, because ultimately the only thing that will keep you in this business long term is that network. Only thing they can't take away from you.
Yeah. And I just want to touch on that for a minute too, because some people are like Labrador retrievers and everybody loves a nice lab,
Yeah,
right? There's not an
absolutely.
angry lab in the world,
There's not.
right? Everybody loves labs and golden retrievers and stuff like that. But a lot of people are scared about pit bulls just because they're very
Mhm.
happy and a little anxious, right? I happen to love pit bulls. I don't fear them. And heck, I sleep with one once a week, literally on a couch. And it's my favorite time of the week, is when I get to cuddle up with Mo. And no, my point about all that is some people, when it comes to in real estate, they're very high eye, they're very friendly,
Yep.
right? They're connected in the circles. I've never been that person. I lived in probably the most affluent town, or one of the most affluent towns in New Hampshire. I raised my children there. I never felt connected to town. I never felt connected to them people, ever.
Hmm.
I was divorced, so I was almost like shunned. And because if you're a single guy and you're making $1 million a year and you got a big home, they will invite you in. But if you're a single guy and you're living in a townhouse, they're not going to invite you in, right?
Yep.
It's just weird because it's so shallow there. But so there's two. You got to understand that there's two dynamics here. One is some people are very well connected. You're connected, you know lots of people. You're friendly and you're willing to sit there and talk, and you're invited to Christmas parties and those kind of things. I'm not that guy. Okay, I'm not that guy. I don't want any more friends. But I'm a business person. I have business relationships.
Yep.
How can we help each other business? How can we help? Heck, I donated something to the Chamber of Commerce for the Kennebunks, and I think we raised over $500 because of that piece of artwork. Right now, they're super. And not only did we raise $500, Jamie told me that as a result of doing my video and sharing it out there, that they saw a huge increase in traffic and bids.
Nice. Awesome.
And she was like, "Oh my God, so thank you." I want those relationships, right? I
Yep.
don't need another person around my campfire. I only have 8 seats.
Mhm.
I don't want 9, right? But everybody will eat at my table. I always have room for one more, right? So the table is my business relationships, the
Mhm.
community, give. But when I get home, I'm home, right? I'm not, oh, we got to go to Sally and Bob for game night. Don't get me wrong. I enjoyed those things when I did them, but they're not an important part now. And I just want everybody to understand that not everybody is that friendly person who has a good sphere of influence. I'm breaking into a brand new market, having success, and I don't know anybody. I know you.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But we ain't gonna hang out. You got kids. You got to do kid things.
Yeah, I got totally different
I'm
stage of
free,
life.
man.
Yeah, totally different stage of life. But I think to that point, Johnny Mo, like, I am a super high D. I am not a small talk guy. I'm not a talk about the weather. I have to make myself do that. But what I do like is I love talking about business. So for me, most of my relationships, kind of like you mentioned, are business related. It is, I network. I don't network with, like, I look at my wife and we go to the playground and I'm like way off to the side. My wife is talking to all the parents. She's out there playing with the kids. I want no part of that. I'm not interested in small talk about, you know, the colds, the sniffles, I'm not interested. Like, I don't want to talk about that. But you put me in a business event, I will work that room because I love talking about business. Like, that's my forum. And I think it's important that you understand who you are, what you like, and where you're comfortable. You drop me inside of somebody's, somebody's house for a Christmas party with all the kids, and I'm not going to talk to a lot of people there. I'll graze a little bit, but that's not my thing. You drop me at a networking event with business people, I am all over that room because that's what I like to do. That's what I like to talk about. It's what I'm interested in. That's what lights me up. But I know that. So when it's a more formal business setting, I'm your guy. When it's a more kind of friendly atmosphere, my wife takes over because that's her thing. And then from there, she'll introduce me to people, but she becomes my, the lead generator at that kind of social stuff for me because that's where she's much better. But I know that about myself. I know going into certain situations where I'm going to fit best, how I need to kind of react to it, where I need to be, where I need to put myself. But it's not like I just show up and like, boom, it all just happens. Like you have to prepare for that. You have to know where you're going, who the audience is, what the conversation starters might be. It's not just a roll out of bed and go. Like there is preparation to that because I'm not the person who just naturally wants to go talk to a bunch of people. I do find it exhausting. I do enjoy it though, but I do enjoy the business conversations. I do enjoy the business relationships, and that's where I focus my time.
Yeah, first thing I do when I get home from one of them events is jump right on the couch or on the bed and just be like, I'm tired. Because I like conversations around solving problems, right? My brain doesn't stop. We all have gifts. I have my own unique gifts. And the more I can stay in that space, the happier I am.
Yep.
Right. So I like to solve problems, have those conversations. So that's what I try to attract. I'm not going out there trying to get anybody to like me.
Right.
If you like me, like me. If you don't, you don't. That's cool. Yeah, I'm cool. I might not like you. Heck,
I don't care either way.
I posted something yesterday, and I think it was a picture, a meme, and it said, "Stop trying to get everybody to like you. You don't even like everybody anyways."
Right.
And so that's true. I just simply try to promote a good message, support local.
Yep.
I'm not trying to promote anything decisive, what's the word I'm looking for? Divisive. Thank you. I'm not trying to post anything divisive, and I don't want to talk about politics and those types of things because at the end of the day, I don't truly control any of it. Yep. I don't control any of that external stuff. All I control is here. And if I can be the best version of myself, if I can treat you with kindness, if I can help you accomplish whatever it is that goal, I don't care if your hair is like this, like yours, or purple. How I treat you is a reflection of my own character.
Right.
Right. God gave you free will. You do whatever you want with it. That's between you and him.
Yep.
Right. How I treat you is between me and him. Right. Yep. That's all me.
Yeah.
So that's it. Just try to be a good person and attract your people. And you're going to attract your people. And I said this on a podcast with Kelly yesterday. You only need 100 people in your community who follow you, who believe in you, and who like your stuff to make a big impact in your business. That's it.
100%.
Right. That's it.
That's it. And I've, some of my best friends, some of my best personal friends, I talk to 5-6 times a year. Some of my closest business relationships and contacts I talk to almost daily. Like it's just, you find where you fit, find where you're comfortable, find what works for you, and go there. And go. Don't just kind of tiptoe there, but go there. Mm-hmm. If you are a networker, if you just go there, go meet people, go start conversations, build that database, build that network. It's the only thing in this business that cannot be taken away from you that you don't have to pay money for every month. Build your brand, build your presence, build your network, be that person.
Yep. 100%. That's truly what I believe. Like I said, I came to a new market. People are like, oh, you're just making all these food videos. These food videos are allowing me to talk to people. These food videos are getting me out of the house. These food videos are getting me into action. These food videos have allowed us to create some pretty good connections. Again, with the Chamber of Commerce that led to Main Day Ventures, that led to several other relationships that they are procuring for us. They are our advocate. Right. And if you got advocates of that caliber out there, 5, 10, 15 advocates of that caliber advocating for you, you win, man.
Right.
You win. And it doesn't matter what everybody thinks of you. Who cares? I got these people who think the world of me. And if I got 5 people like that who are uberly connected and they all know 100 people, now all of a sudden there's 500 people I'm connected to.
Yep.
Right? That's sphere hacking.
At its finest.
That's what we do. Even Michael Mayer talks about the 7 levels of communication. You want to become that digital mayor, Gary Vaynerchuk, digital mayor.
Yep.
You want to be that central figure. And I'm not talking about I am the king of Saco. I am the king of Biddeford. I am the Duke of Arundel, right? I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about a small group of people is
Yep.
all you really need. Right?
It
A
is.
small group of people is all you really need. And if you give value, if you bring value, if you are kind, if you come from a contributive type of environment, you will attract those people. Whether it's, I was walking into Market Basket the other day, and they were the Biddeford Food Bank was there collecting for probably Thanksgiving meals. And I said, I was walking in. I said, "What you guys need?" He gave me a list. I said, "Okay, cool." So I went in there and I bought, maybe $10 worth, 15. I mean, probably $10, $12 worth of stuff. Couple boxes of stuffing, couple boxes of cranberry sauce, couple things of gravy, couple things of vegetables, everything that was on that list.
Yep.
And I gave it to him, and I had like $8 in my pocket. I said, "Here, have that too. By the way, here's my card. If you would like to do something to promote the food pantry and the work that you're doing, I have a channel that reaches thousands of people." And here's the thing, right? I might only have close to 4,000 people on TikTok and a couple thousand people on YouTube, whatever, but and a couple thousand people on Facebook, but we get great engagement. That's a lot more than they have. So they look at that and they, wow. And the thing is, again, back to the 100 people and the small amount of followers compared to, there's delusion that you need tens of thousands of followers. That's if you're trying to be something bigger than local.
Mm-hmm.
If I have 100 people locally following me that see that message, it's all I need.
That's it. Take care of you forever.
Need.
I'll take care of you forever.
Right. But when they look at it, you got thousands. Now all of a sudden they think you're a celebrity. The whole purpose of all of it was for that conversation.
Yep.
It was for that. There were like 4 or 5 of the people that worked there. One of the people were like, "You look wicked familiar." I'm like, "You on TikTok?" She said, "Yeah." I said, "Explore Main Life."
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. It's just it's constantly, you're constantly being seen. You're constantly adding value. You're constantly showing people, why you're somebody they should know. Why there's somebody they want to follow. Mm-hmm. And you can do it in a lot of forms. You can do it through, newsletters. You can do it through video. You can do it through, your networking. You can do it through philanthropic stuff. You can do it a lot of ways. Yeah. But you're continuing to show up every day in the community in a way that adds value, that shows that you are somebody that's worth knowing. And because of that, people want to know you. And that's the whole name of the game. It is who's in your network, who knows you, who have you made an impact on. And when the time comes for somebody to buy or sell real estate, like, who do they think of? You just need to be memorable. You need to bring enough value that you're memorable.
Yeah. That's it. And in 2024, there's full plans, full steam ahead that we I'm Explore Main Life. That's the brand, right? I've been doing a lot of videos about Biddeford and Saco restaurants, Arundel restaurants, things like that, because this is where I'll end up servicing the majority of my real estate business. When I can hop on the train, which these are some of the things that are going to happen, I can hop on the train and say, "I'm going down to Dover to try out this pizza place that everybody tells me I need to go try. Come on, this is one of the benefits about living here." And I hop on the train and I go to Saco. When I can say, "Hey, we're going to head up to Freeport to go to LL Bean for the day, blah, blah, blah." This is one of the benefits about living here. Yep. There I go, right? Now I'm telling life stories about the area, but people are going to want to follow that. People do follow that.
They do.
Right? And so now all of a sudden in 2024, when I'm able to run a piece, whether it's in something that's put out in the news, in the what do you call that? The supermarkets that people grab, and there's a little thing, little ad here that, imagine right here, it says Explore Main Life, and there's a scan code there. Okay, so those are the things. Imagine mailing out to a geographical farm of 1,000 people your postcard. It's already designed, and when it scans, it lands on your website. In our case, I use Chime. I don't know if that's the best direction, but that's what we use.
It works.
Lofty, as
right.
they now call it. And now all of a sudden they land there to learn the few food reviews of the area and stuff like that. And they're pixelated. They can search real estate. It's not in your face real estate. You know why? Because I'm not trying to be John B. Realtor.
Right.
I'm trying to be Explore Main Life, something bigger than John B. Realtor could ever be.
Yep.
And the thing is, we were talking a minute ago about the equity of a database. The equity that I'm building is 10 times more than John B. Realtor, because when John B. Realtor dies or retires, it goes away. So doesn't John B. Realtor's story, because the surest, quickest way that everybody forgets you is to stop telling the story.
Mm-hmm.
If I can go away, Explore New Hampshire Life will exist, Explore Maine Life will exist, hopefully Explore Vermont Life will kick off, and Explore Massachusetts Life will kick off. Right? My daughter is getting her license. She's going to be Explore New Hampshire Life or a subsidiary of it. Mm-hmm. Here you go. Let's keep running it because people want this. I belong to this group called New Hampshire Eats. And if you look, there's probably like Maine Eats and California Eats and all that.
I'm sure there probably is.
38,000 people in this group talking about food and restaurants and stuff. And I'm like, oh, I've been here. Oh, I've been here. Oh, you're a restaurant owner that's opening December. I'd love to come do a video on you for at Explore Main Life. Oh, would love to have you. So building connections and building relationships, because your digital online sphere of influence and network is everything in 2023 and beyond.
Yep, it is. And what I will say is that I think the definition of a database has also shifted over time. We always thought, database was always what's in the system, what's in the CRM, what names are in there, what email addresses and phone numbers do we have? But really, that database is transitioning to more of an audience. What's your audience? It's not just the people that are in your database with phone numbers and emails. I get how valuable that is. But it's also the followers and the audience you have online. It's the people that are watching your stuff. It's people that are following you, because you may not know their phone and email, but it doesn't matter because they're engaging with you consistently, that when the time comes, they're likely going to reach out to you anyways. That's when you get their phone number and their email. You don't need phone and email right now. We're not in the world where you can't reach them any other way but phone and email. We're now in a world where that, as that audience builds and people are following and engaging, your database is significantly larger than just the names in your system. It's the people that are engaging and following you every day on your social channels, on YouTube. It's a way bigger group. And we often forget about those people. They're in your world still. Talk to them. Talk to them like they are going to be clients. Talk to them like they have been clients. Talk to them like they will use you. Give them what they're looking for, because that group will come back. They will use you.
To show you how powerful that is, I shared this story a month or so ago. I was getting some I was at Harbor Freight, and I was getting some moving quilts for the studio to dampen the sound, or the echo, I should say. And I was walking out, and the dude walked up to me, and I'm 51, right? I still think in my mind I'm 27. And that's evident of me jumping off rocks this morning, being like, what the fuck? But anyways,
that shouldn't hurt.
This dude, he came over to me. He was probably in his 50s too. And he came over to me. He's like, hey, I see your TikToks all around town. And I'm like, oh, I should stop being nicer in public if people are recognizing me. But that's what happens when you're always wearing your gear, right? I wear gear everywhere I go. Why? Hey, it's a tax write-off to begin with. Right? So when I'm buying my stuff and I'm getting it from, what's that printing store everybody loves?
Like Vistaprint?
Yeah. If I buy it from Vistaprint, if I buy 4 or 5 shirts from Vistaprint, that's marketing, right?
Oh, totally.
If I buy them from somebody local, which is always a win, right?
Yep.
Embroidered Me or something else like that, it's a write-off. So start to brand yourself, right? This is branding. So when I'm walking around and I got the coat on and stuff like that, people recognize the name, the symbol, and the goal has always been to turn this name into a trusted national brand, right? Yep. And so when people start seeing it over and over and over locally, Explore Main Life, they start to become trusted, or they start to trust the brand, I should say.
Yep. Yeah, it's why do people buy, does Nike make the best shoe out there? Maybe, but the best known, so people buy them. Everybody wants them. It's one of those things where it really does come down to, how well known are you? Because the best known is always going to win. And again, that gets back to networking. It gets back to how well you nurture that network and build that network. And Bring value to that network. That's your brand. Your brand is your brand is what people think of you when you're not around. And also who thinks of you when you're not around. That's your brand. Go build it. Go get in front of people, have conversation. When people right now are telling me they're struggling, I ask them, how many conversations are you having every day with people? And a lot of times, well, none. I don't have any leads. You don't need leads. Go to the coffee shop and just talk to somebody. Go to the dog park and walk your dog and talk to somebody. Just go live your life and run into people.
Mhm.
And if that doesn't work, then do what Johnny Mo's doing and just start calling people. Hey, how you doing? Real estate market's great. You thought about selling? No? Okay, great. Glad, if you need anything, you can always reach me at this number. Thanks. Bye. Send a thank you card for the fact they talked to you and you're off to the races.
I don't have any leads equals you don't lead generate.
Right.
And with all the tools that exist, I think almost every real estate agent out there has access to RPR. So I'm going to burn every excuse that you have. And that's why I drive people nuts, because I don't accept bullshit. I don't accept excuses, because I will give you, it's like the military, right? If you're on mission and your mission is to get on the other side of the wall, the mission's to get on the other side of the wall.
Yeah.
What obstacles do we have, and what tool do I have at my disposal? We're going to either go around it, over it, or through it. And It's the same thing with lead generation. I don't have any leads. Get an RPR. Follow the 10-10-20 rule, which has been proven over and over and over to be effective. Go knock on doors. Go get a dialer. Right. So there's 100 ways. Pay the $80 a month or the $100 a month to belong to a service where you get probate leads or distressed seller leads or any of these other things, and make the phone call. What you have isn't a lead problem. What you have is a lead generation problem, because if you're not generating leads, then what you have is entitlement. And entitlement doesn't pay the bills in my world.
No, and writing a bigger check to Zillow isn't going to necessarily change anything either. Like I've said this many times, and I don't ever lead generate. I relationship generate. I'm looking for people that I can help, that I can get to know, that I would work well with, and I want to build that relationship with them. I'm not looking just for leads, because honestly, there are going to be a lot of people that come in as leads that you don't want to work with. It's going to be a miserable transaction. You're not going to get along with them. I made the joke last night to somebody, the worst part of this business is the people. But once you start to learn who you work better with and how to control situations, how to control the conversation, it gets better. But the people are hard. People are difficult, because they're going to say one thing and do another. They're going to, they're going to tell you what they want and then change their mind. They're going to want to see other things. They're going to back out at the last minute. They're going to get cold feet. They're going to go through the emotional roller coaster. If you can't handle that, this business can eat you alive. More importantly, if you don't work well with that type of client, then don't work with that type of client. Go find the people that you naturally jive with. There's a comment here in the chat, find your tribe. Go find those people. That's why I like working with investors and commercial clients. Do I work with homeowners? Absolutely. Will I take house listings? Absolutely. Taking many of them. But I don't like them as much, because I find that the retail buyer and seller is much harder for me to work with, because I don't care what color the wall is. I don't care if the couch will fit. I don't care whether your dining room table is going to look good in that room. I don't care. Like that's not my thing. But I'm a numbers guy. Does it work? Does it make sense? Should you do it? How could you underwrite it? How could you structure it? That's what I enjoy doing. So I try to drift towards the people that I work best with. And that's why I don't want leads, because I don't know who I'm getting. Whereas relationships, I know who I'm getting.
Yeah. I want to talk real quick about, Nike and the brand and stuff like that. And I watched a TikTok yesterday where they're at a shoe convention, and the gal said,
like a cult.
Yeah, she said, what's a deal breaker if a girl walked up to you wearing these, what type of shoes would be a deal breaker? And they all said, well, all the people in the video, I don't know how many people she talked to, but all the people in the video said, Nike makes them Panda Dunks, right? Oh yeah, if she's wearing Pandas, I can't. So the point is, Panda Dunks are ordinary. Everybody has them. And so people are looking for this type of Jordan or this type of Jordan, right? or this type of that or this type of that because they're valuable, limited edition, they're new, or something else like that. And the same thing translates, in my opinion, to real estate and real estate agents. Don't be a panda dunk because nobody wants you. Nobody wants another generic. Nobody wants another average. Be different.
Yep.
Okay, stand out. It's same with doctors. You go to school for 800 years to become a doctor, but most people, I don't want to say most people, doctors come out and they're generalists, general physician. That's what they're called, right?
Yep.
I'm going to go see my primary physician. That's a general physician. If you are going to be an orthopedic surgeon, if you are going to be a heart doctor or whatever, you have hardcore 2-year residency, you have 2-year fellowships, you have additional training. You're not going to sit there and diagnose somebody with the flu. You're going to fix their hip.
Exactly.
Right? You're going to fix their valves of their heart. You're going to do something specialized. And that's kind of the same thing is don't be a panda dunk. Don't be a general practitioner. Be that specialized person. And that specialized person isn't necessarily doing commercial or doing this or doing that, but it's being different than everybody else and bringing a value. And that's the point I hope that you get is bringing a value that people perceive as important, as unique, and you will attract what you need from there. A general practitioner is going to see more people. A specialist is going to work on those cases that they attract.
Yep.
Okay. So just look at it a little bit different. Don't be a panda dunk.
Yep.
Be an Air Force, Air Force One, whatever.
Yeah. I'm not into shoe culture, so it's a little lost on me, but
maybe I just know the panda dunks aren't the best.
Right. Yeah. But no, you want to be that person that has that specialty that everybody knows and it's the person they go to. And when you look around your marketplace, you're going, you know, those agents that are the specialists in luxury, specialists in that neighborhood, specialists with investors, specialists in commercial, like, you know, those people that just always have people coming to them. You know, they're the go-to person. That could be you.
Yeah.
You just have to put in the work to become that person. You have to show up in a way that person shows up.
Yeah.
Because that person didn't just wake up and get all that business. They've been building that brand. They've been building that reputation for a long time.
Yeah. And here's the thing, right? You sometimes will see somebody that's super successful or having great success. It didn't come overnight. What you don't see is the struggle. What you don't see is the frustration. What you don't see is the tears. What you don't see is the 2 to 3, 4 hours of phone calls every single day when it sucks. Nobody likes to do it. But if you do it, it's a promise from God you will win. If you don't do it, it's a promise from God you won't.
Yep.
You will have to find another way. And it's also a promise from God that if you do the videos, if you go out there and network, you will win. It's a promise from God that if you don't, you will not have those results from that particular avenue.
Yep.
If you don't do the work, you do not get the result. And there's no nice way to put it.
No.
You just have to do the work. There's several different ways to do the work. Sometimes you do a little bit in each area, but again, it's a promise from God that if you don't do the work, you don't get the result, period. Hard stop.
That's it. It's the name of the game. It's more than anything right now. I'm investing in myself. I'm investing in what I'm thinking, what I'm doing, how I'm showing up, what I'm putting out, investing heavily in creating my own brand of sorts here locally so that when people think of certain categories, they think of me. And that's been my focus. It's been all about how do I take this window of time when things are a little weird and cut through all this noise to stand out? Because if I can do that in 3 to 6 months, when things come roaring back, I'll gain all the benefits from it. But you have to be able to be patient and focused to do that.
Right. And thank you, Paul. Great content and channel. Appreciate the fact you all post constantly. Thank you for the kind words. It's things like that. It's people that notice what you're doing that actually motivates you to do it more.
Yep.
I just want to say, you just mentioned you're investing in yourself and everything else like that, right? Guys, this is on my coffee table, the Daily Stoic Journal from Ryan Holiday. I read it not every day. There's lessons in there, and I work through the lessons. I got the Compound Effect at my fingertips, and I got the Shadow Work Journal. It's not always I got to read this one book, and this book is going to set me free. Oh my God, guys! I posted on Facebook right about the book. It's doing the work.
Yeah,
it's doing the work when nobody's looking, when nobody's home. I have a TV. I don't turn it on, but to listen to smooth jazz, right? That's how I turn it on. I go to iHeartRadio app and I go to smooth jazz and I put that on. Yep. And when I'm done with it, I turn it off. I don't watch TV. Why? Because I would rather be here. I'd rather be there. I got books over there too. You know what I mean? That's where I'd rather be, is reading, expanding my mind, becoming better, picking up the phone, planning, right? I cut out a whole bunch of people, a whole bunch of situations that suck my time away from me. I'm reducing my digital intake of social media.
Yeah, we all should. Holy
right?
cow.
Everybody should. I'm not going to solve world problems on social media. I'm not going to say, I don't need to try to convince somebody else to like me. I got 4,000 people that like me. That's good enough for me. I'm cool.
We spend so much of our life distracting.
Channels, we're talking about tens of thousands of people that I reach.
Yeah, right? We spend so much of our time distracting ourselves from the stuff we should actually be doing that makes a difference.
Right? Being busy, not productive. Yep. But I'm producing more content because I'm under the mindset that the Facebook, you are the product. If you're consuming it, you are the product.
Yep.
Your behaviors, your actions, your likes, they're being marketed. Right? Products are being marketed to you based upon those types of things. I am in my Facebook page more than I am in my Facebook personal profile, because when I get to my profile, it's just the same stupid bullshit over and over and over. It's either mindless stuff from real estate agents that think that they need to post that, oh my God, I can't believe I forgot my coffee on the top of my car. Well, get the coffee. I mean, you really have time in your day and think that is,
yep.
Right? Where when I'm in my Facebook page as Explore Maine Life, I'm seeing other businesses and I'm communicating with other people who are personalities and things like that, and it's just a completely different vibe. So I'm going to produce content more. I'm going to consume content less, and that is a superpower that I hope everybody learns.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway,
you can be a consumer or a creator. You got to
close this out, Harrison. Close this out. You got the final words here.
Final words. All right. So I think for everybody right now, you need to be investing in yourself. We talked about earlier, invest in yourself. You need to be building your skills, building your brand, building your relationships, building your presence, and showing the world your expertise. This is not the time to run and hide and be scared and shovel more money at Zillow. Now is the time to really help yourself stand out, but you got to invest in yourself to do that. And then lastly, through all that, you need to be building that network. The only thing that can never be taken away from you is the network and the people that think of you, that know you, that like you, that trust you. The more people you have in your corner that know, like, and trust you, the more likely you are to pick up referrals, pick up their business. And now you become completely insulated from all the other crap going on in the world because you've got that network of people that are thinking of you and utilizing you. And that's how you dominate a market. You don't dominate a market with just listed, just sold posts and Zillow leads and stuff like that. You dominate a market by dominating the mind share, by dominating the relationships, by being the best known in that area. Now is the time to go do that. Because if you do that now when things are quieter and you've got the time to invest in it, you will come out of this in a few months with more business than you know what to do with.
100%. Gary Vaynerchuk said, attention is the currency of social media. Are you capturing that mind share? Are you capturing that attention? We can help you do that with the Evolution Media Group. So if you go to the evolutionmediagroup.com, take a look. We can help you with training. We can help you with editing. We can help you with coaching, editing, and full production suite of services through Explore MyTown. So if you're looking to become the most recognized agent in your market, go take a look at the evolutionmediagroup.com. Peace.
See ya.
We out.